Hello, hello, hello. It is Rick Kamla. It is Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. We are the Fantasy NBA today. We're the GOATs, we're the OGs, and we're happy to have you guys and girls along for the ride. We get the best producer in the business, Andre Lemouche, and we have FanDuel presenting this show for you. We love our friends over at FanDuel. So, Doc, the last episode that hit on Wednesday, we went through some news and skits and bits, and we went deep into ESPN ADPs. There were a couple that we really disagreed with. Jalen Brown, Josh Hart immediately come to mind. So we got a bunch more of them, dude. This is basically part two of an epic mini series here on the Fantasy NBA today. Ja Morant, Doc, as we dive right in. An ADP right now on ESPN of, drum roll please, 30, Doc. Would you like a barf bag?
Oh, goodness gracious. First of all, has Ja Morant ever finished in the top 50 in fantasy rankings? I mean,
Andre will have that info for you very quickly. That's a perfect. I think the year before, Andre written all over it.
I feel like the year before last, he was like 140 something. Like and then the whole, you keep saying it. He doesn't love basketball. If any part of me was thinking about drafting Ja Morant 6 months ago, you've certainly killed that desire in me. Not that I was thinking about drafting Ja Morant, because he's one of those guys, when somebody else in my draft takes Ja Morant, I don't care if it's at number 30. I don't care if it's at number 60. I'm like, thank you. Now I don't have to take Ja Morant. I did it one time. I'm not doing it. I don't know that after all the stuff he's been through, if he can't come back with a chip on his shoulder and wanting to just destroy everything in front of him, then I don't know why it would happen this year. I'm out on Ja.
8 cat per game. He was 37th in 23-24 and 50th last year. So he's been a top 50 guy the last 2 years. Just saying. Dude, I love his stats. 25, 5 and 7. He's gotten the steals over 1. The threes are improving. I mean, the PRA is straight nasty, and the other stuff's under construction. I want to say Ja made a progression with the 3-ball last year in obviously minimal time out there on the wood. But I do like the stats that he puts up. It's like LaMelo Ball. I'm down with the stats. Last year, Morant was at a career-high 1.2 steals and a career-high 1.8 threes. All right? I can work with that. And then he was 23, 4, and 7 with the PRA. I can work with that. But he was 25, 26, 27 PPG the previous 3 years. The stats work for me with Ja Morant. The games played do not work for me with Ja Morant. So Ja Morant here, Doc, at 30. Okay, so let's see where I got. I'm not even going to look overall, Doc. I'm going to look at guards. Okay, ESPN ADP, they have Ja Morant at 30. I've got Ja Morant right now, Doc. And by the way, any ranking that I do for Ja Morant or LaMelo Ball is grudging. Okay, as in I don't really want to do it. Okay, I've got Ja Morant right now at 25. I've got LaMelo Ball right behind him at 26. I don't want either of them. I won't draft either of them. But I've got them there right now. Okay. So that's 24 guards that I would rather have than Ja Morant. And so he's at 30 here overall. You can do the math. I mean, there'd be 15 centers and 20 forwards I'd rather have than Ja Morant. This isn't even close, Doc. Ja Morant, if people want to draft him inside the top 50, 48, 49, 50, that works for me more than this. But y'all are going to have to knock yourself out with Ja Morant, and don't even invite me to the party, because I won't even respond to the RSVP. I'll just ghost you and completely keep it moving here. So Ja Morant at 30, Doc, is pretty wild and crazy.
I have a question for you. I just looked it up. In 9-cat, Ja Morant last year was 88. All right. And that's per game. That's not good. Rick, I know you don't care about turnovers. I know you hate turnovers. I know you think they're bogus, but do you play in turnover leagues?
Of course. Like, there are leagues where I'm not the commissioner, but I want to play in the league. Okay, I'll still beat you. Literally losing the turnover category every single week, which I know I will still win your league. Yes.
Yeah, just because I usually, when I'm looking at just base core numbers for a fantasy player, I usually go 9 cap because almost every league format defaults to that, and that's what a lot of people play. Now I know NBA.com was trying to push the 5 category points leagues and make that the standard fantasy league. But I don't think people bought into that hardly at all. And everybody's still pretty much playing the way they were playing before, which a lot of times includes the turnovers in there. So I don't automatically just discount those and throw them out. But I'm with you. I really don't look at turnovers when I'm drafting a team because the best players commit the most turnovers, generally speaking. And I'm more about shiny, flashy things than I am worrying about turnovers.
Me too. He's Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. I'm Rick Kamla. We're the Fantasy NBA today, going through early ADPs on ESPN. Here's another one, Doc. DeMar DeRozan at 33. Will he even have 33 steals? Will he even have 33 threes this upcoming season? DeMar DeRozan at 33s. Are you okay with that?
No. Portland, or wait a second. Why do I have CJ McCollum stuck on my brain? DeMar DeRozan. Why was I thinking CJ? DeMar DeRozan plays next to Zach LaVine. And that was a weird, like the Kings were just kind of funky last year in reality. And then you add, like when I think about DeMar DeRozan, no 3-pointers, although I think he hits one a game now. He's finally gotten there. No steals. He gets some steals now. He's got a great mid game. He's one of the old school mid game 15-footer guys. That's great. That doesn't help my fantasy team. And he's getting older. Like, do you have his age in front of you by chance? You do not.
I don't, but I can get it. I think he's 35. I think Double D is 35.
Do you? I didn't think it was that old, but maybe.
No, yeah, he's. I was wrong about Vooch in the last episode. I'm right on the money. Wow. Tomorrow is DeMar DeRozan's 36th birthday, Doc. He's at 35 and 364 days from the CPT. So he will be 36 years old. Actually, Doc, okay, this show is on Thursday. And so today is DeMar DeRozan's birthday. Doc is going to get the party favors here to ring in DeMar DeRozan's 36th birthday here today. And in moments after singing happy birthday to the great future Hall of Famer DeMar DeRozan, we're going to bang on his early ESPN ADP. Doc, go ahead.
Happy birthday. All right. Happy birthday, DeMar. If you can't see this, I'm wearing a kid's little party cone hat, and I've got a party pipe, as they're called, which is like those. It doesn't squeak when you blow it, but the little thing comes out. You get the idea. Anyway, that's my birthday bit that I do when it's somebody's birthday. Happy birthday, DeMar. I'm not drafting DeMar, dude. It's just it's the same thing as these other guys. Like, oh, somebody just took DeMar DeRozan. All right, there's another one I don't have to worry about. And how many times in a draft do you actually say to someone, "Oh, dude, I'm so glad you took him there because I didn't want to have to do it." And it happens all the time in our 30 deep draft, in the message board, and really a lot of drafts. It's like, oh my God, I'm so glad somebody just took Zion so I don't have to do it.
DeMar DeRozan is a really good 30 deep player because you can't get too cute with the stats in 30 deep. There's like 30 picks between your picks, right? So it's like you picking in 3 rounds later, you go again. It's madness.
Sometimes it's 60 picks. Yeah.
Sometimes it's 60 picks depending on where you go early or late. So so 22, 4, and 4, and you're like, okay, he doesn't really steal the ball or hit threes. You can't in 30 deep, you can't get like cute with that. You can't get snobby with that. You've just got to be like, all right, this guy, and he plays every game, by the way, which is huge. But let me reel it in here for everybody else. I did some math while you were talking. I would take 61 players over DeMar DeRozan. Okay. I would take 19 centers, 19 forwards, and 23 guards. That puts him, that's 61 players. That puts Double D at 62. Again, Doc, these ESPN ADPs are so based on popularity and who's hot right now. And Josh Hart's in New York, so of course he's going to be a badass, but it's all fool's gold. And John Morant, he's so good, and his highlights are so cool, man. I'm going to draft him at 30, right? It's all the wrong stuff. It's all math. That's all fantasy basketball is. Boil everything else off, okay? Boil it all off. The name, the jersey, the viral, all the stuff. Boil it all down. Just math. That's all it is. You can't win the math game getting all snowed and starry-eyed with things that you love. You can't. You got to go where the numbers are, man. DeMar DeRozan ain't it, okay, especially at 33. He's double overdrafted, Doc. He's literally double overdrafted.
Yeah, and also we got to keep in mind this is very early ADP information. This is people that are, I mean, they're probably not doing this for money. It's probably a lot of mock drafts. It's probably a lot of goofing around. So I take it with a grain of salt, but the numbers are the numbers. And when we looked at the top 5 guys yesterday, I mean, that was all pretty legit. So this could be the way everything falls into place this coming season. So I think that's way too high for DeRozan.
Let's move on. Jalen Green of the now Phoenix Suns is at 44. Jalen Green at 44, Doc. How you feeling about that?
Jalen Green played in 82 games last season for Houston. Jalen Green returned 11th round fantasy value in 9 cat. Now, he's in Phoenix. He's got a new look, a new team, a new role. Things could be a lot better. It's going to be 5 or 6 rounds better. I don't think so. If he's going this early, I'm not even going to put him on my list because I'm just going to let somebody else take him. I like Jalen Green. And there were times last year where he looked like a monster and looked like he was one of the better players in the leagues. But there were also long stretches where he did not look anything like that at all. So the inconsistency I don't, he shot 42% last year. That's not great. He turns the ball over a lot. There's too many question marks with him. I want somebody, I like his upside. I think he's going to be a very good player someday, but I'm going to let somebody else do that.
I like Jalen Green. I think Jalen Green's going to have a really good year in Phoenix. I think the numbers could go up. So last year he was at 3 threes per game and a good PRA, like 22, 4, and 4 kind of thing, somewhere around that. I have, Doc, 50 players ranked over Jalen Green. So I've got, 49, pardon me. So I've got Jalen Green at 50. Jalen Green, his ADP here is 44. I'm not mad at that. I'm mad at the DeMar DeRozan, the Ja Morant, the Josh Hart, like all that, Jaylen Brown, all that stuff's nutty. Remember we talked Paolo Banchero and Cooper Flagg, for me, a little bit overdrafted. Not a lot, 4 or 5 spots overdrafted because of hype and name and popularity and all that stuff. I feel like Jalen Green's getting the same little dap right here. He's only like I have him at 50s at 44. He's only overranked by 6 spots. We're still in the same round. We can still be friends. Okay. And I would feel comfortable. Again, I think Jalen Green's going to have a fantastic year. The 3 threes per game is real nice. And he's going to have a solid PRA out there. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot, guys, because Devin Booker's going to share point guard duties. I mean, Book's going to be on the ball a ton. Going to be about 7 assists. I can see Jalen Green at 5 assists in Phoenix this year. They don't have a true point guard. So I think Jalen Green's going to have a good year and pretty much on that ADP. I'm not mad at that. LaMelo Ball at 45, Doc. Here we go again.
Another guy, when somebody else drafts him, I'm going to be like, thank you for doing that, so I didn't have to. There's a lot of those on this list, and LaMelo is certainly one of them. It's sort of like if you're gambling and you put $100 on black in Vegas and it misses. And so you're like, well, it's got to hit at some point. So you put $200 on black in Vegas and it hits red again and you lose. And you're like, well, I'm going to put 400 down because it's got to hit eventually. You know what I'm saying? You keep going through the scenario and eventually you lose all your money because it didn't hit until right after you ran out of money. That's sort of how I feel we are with LaMelo Ball. Like eventually, like if you're gambling, you have to think to yourself, eventually it's going to happen. He's going to play in 75 games. He's going to be the fantasy dynamo and stud that we all thought he would be for the last 5 years, however long it's been. But you're gambling and it may not hit and it may never hit. And for those of us who have already lost all our money betting on LaMelo Ball, we're out. We are out of cash. We are done. It's somebody else's turn. So if you have money in your pocket and you want to gamble on LaMelo Ball, there will be like 3 or 4 people, maybe 5 in your draft who don't want any part of that. And you can compete with the other guys to try to see if this is the year. But I just don't think the year is ever coming. I drafted him in Cam Dynasty the first year I was in it, and I thought I had the cornerstone of my franchise going forward. And it turned out to be fool's gold and a myth, and my team sucked because it was built around LaMelo Ball.
There was a shot there, but I'm not going to take it. I'm going to love space today.
You can do
it.
Take a shot.
I'm going to love. No, I'm good. I don't want to because it would involve like banging on. I don't want to do it.
Okay.
Hey, it's the Fantasy NBA today, presented by FanDuel. Rick Kamla, Hall of Famer, Steve Alexander. I have LaMelo Ball 25 guards ranked ahead of him, 20 forwards ranked ahead of him, and 13 centers ranked ahead of him. And that again, Doc, this is I'm actually giving LaMelo credit saying it this way, because some of the guys I was looking at in the break points, I don't know, you get me on draft night, and if I've already got a bunch of guards, I need a big, I'm probably not taking Ja that spot. But for this conversation, I got 58 people over John Morant, which means he'd be at 59. All right. So again, the ADP's quite off here. I'm at 59, ADP of 45. We're off by a round plus. So y'all knock yourselves out, take LaMelo Ball, get your 37 games of goodies, and lose. Okay. Go ahead.
I will say he looks a hell of a lot better at 45 or 50 than he did at 10 or 20, back when he was going super high. So at least now he's in value territory, but still I'm scared of him.
Great point. I can tell you right now, I'd much rather take LaMelo Ball at 45 than Josh Hart at 29. Josh Hart at 29 is literally a torpedo to your submarine. Boom, you go down to the bottom of the ocean now, and soon you're at the gate. Okay. So number 47 here, Doc, is Zion Williamson. Wow, a parade of guys on the dead to us list, but we're analyzing early ESPN ADP right here. Zion. Zion is the Caitlin Clark of the NBA, and he's at 47, Doc.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Zion doesn't sell as many tickets as Caitlin.
He used to. He used to for a hot minute.
Well, here's another guy that looks a lot better at 47 or 55 than he does at 15. There's still tons of risk. Everybody in New Orleans has a red cross by their name at all times. And this is his do or die. I mean, it's his do or die, and I don't think he cares. Like, look, dude, if you don't show us something this year, we're moving on and we're flushing the whole thing down the toilet. And he'll be like, I don't care. Whatever. And I just don't know that he cares. And the chances that he had a great offseason and built his body and did everything right, great training staff around him, and is like a robot machine, like ready to come out and dominate, are so slim that I just can't. Zion is somebody else is going to take him before I'm ready to, and I will just smile and walk away.
I've got Zion absolutely buried. Dude, I'll just mention randomly some of the names I have over Zion. Zion is my 37th forward. Let you know, he will not be on any of my teams. 37, folks. I'd rather have Osar than Zion. I'd rather have Kamara than Zion. I'd rather have Jabari Smith, my boy Buzelis. I'll stop there, okay? So what I'm saying is I'd rather have sleepers over Zion. Like, these are sleepers. Osar, Kamara, Jabari, Buzelis. These are sleepers. They might not pop, but I'd rather go with the might pop over the guy that's going to play half the games because he hates the game and loves the cash and the chicks and the cars and the travel and all that. Oh, he likes the lifestyle. Look at him. He obviously likes the lifestyle. Likes the lifestyle maybe a little bit too much, Doc. So I didn't even like run these regular numbers here. I figured I'd make the point here. He's my 37th forward. Okay. And he's at 47 overall. Like, this isn't even close. If he's my 37th forward. Okay. That means I'd rather have, golly. I'm even getting here to my mid guards like Peyton Pritchard. I'd rather have Peyton Pritchard than Zion Williamson. I'd rather have Podziemski, Bub Carrington, okay? And I'm not going to go through my whole list, but I'd rather have those guys, okay? And now we're getting into the deep 30s for guards. All right? So, dude, we're talking Zion. I will say it like this. He's probably a top 100 player. And he's at what, 45 here? 47. And to me, he'll be in the 90s or something like that, based on how I have my rankings right now. All right, so let's move on. I mean, obviously, it's egregious. And again, Doc, popularity, hype, brand name, Zion. It's easy to just nab him, okay? But it's all math, and you guys got to get your heads right. That's why we're here, Fantasy NBA today. Jalen Johnson at 50, Doc. I think we might have found an ADP that makes some sense.
I actually like this one. I think he's going to have a nice year if he can stay healthy. I mean, he's the same as these other guys. The difference between Ja Morant, LaMelo, and Zion and Jalen Johnson is Jalen only has 2 strikes against him. Those other dudes have struck out already. And this is a big year for Jalen Johnson. I mean, everybody is expecting the Hawks to compete. Everybody is expecting them to be pretty good. And if that's going to happen, man, they need Johnson out there because he's a leader. He's a baller. There was so much hype on him last year that he was being drafted too early, and then he got hurt on top of that. So he was a huge bust last year. I can see why his ADP is where it is. I will happily take Jalen Johnson in the 4th round if he's sitting there. And if he's sitting there in the 5th round, I'm fired up.
Doc, we've been talking about all these ADPs, right? Overdrafted. I mean, Jaylen Brown, Vucevic, Josh Hart, Morant, DeRozan, LaMelo Ball, Zion, all overdrafted. And we both agree on that. I feel like Banchero and Flag are just a little bit overdrafted based on popularity. No big deal. We have come to, and then I think Luka with an ADP of 5. Okay, and he was from the previous episode, but I'm still looking at our list here. Like Luka is 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Should not be 4, should not be 5, it should be 3. Okay, so that is one where I feel like we're getting a little bit of wiggle room here with Luka right now. To me, we're getting a lot of wiggle room, Doc, with Jalen Johnson and a ton of value. Okay, ADP of 50, and Doc, he is my 10th forward. That means I've got 9 forwards over him. I've got 10 centers over him, and I've got 14 guards over him. All right, 9 plus 19 plus 14 is 33, dude. And so that would make Jalen Johnson my 34th player, and that would put him where, Doc? At the end of round 3, right? End of round 3, beginning of round 4, somewhere in there. That's Jalen Johnson built for me. Round 4. And so an ADP of 50? I love an ADP of 50. I will take Jalen Johnson in the 4th round and beat the ADP here. But that's been rare that we like a guy more than his ADP. We finally found one where there's a big gap, at least for me, between where I have him ranked and where his ADP is. I'm excited about that.
Well, I think Andre put this list together, and it's heavy on guys with big names who are being drafted too early, and that's why we're dissing on. I think if he went in with the goal of finding sleepers that we were super excited about, we could do that too. So maybe we'll do that one at some point later, because there's got to be some better things to talk about than. Well, actually this is really fun. I didn't mean it that way, but I feel like this is the overrated list, and then there's also a sleeper list. But all right, are we moving on to the next guy?
Kawhi Leonard at 51. Kawhi Leonard right after Jalen Johnson at 50, and then Kawhi Leonard's at 51. Let's start there. Who are you taking, Jalen Johnson or Kawhi Leonard in the moment of truth?
I'm taking Jalen, but I will say this. Kawhi Leonard got my attention last year, got my respect. He turned things around and had a great season for the Clippers. And he missed the beginning of the season, but once he got in there and started going, he didn't stop. And it was just it was fun to watch. Made the Clippers really good. And he had a phenomenal year. And I feel like out of all the guys that had that load management stigma, and he's the poster child of load management. He's the one that started it all. I feel like he's like, man, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to play. And I like that. And I have no problem. If I got Jalen in round 4 and Kawhi in round 5, I'd be feeling all right. Because once you hit round 5, the risk is minimal. Like you're not going in round 1 or 2 after a guy who may get hurt.
Kawhi Leonard is my 22nd forward. 22.
Still dead to you, apparently.
For the most part. If you said, hey, you can have Kawhi Leonard or Jimmy Butler, I'm taking Kawhi Leonard. Because he's less dead to me than Jimmy Butler.
He sucked me back in last year. I don't know how, but he did.
I'm looking at my guard list. I probably dabble with at least what did I say? He's 22nd among. I'm probably going at least. I'll just call it 23 guards. So we're at 45 right now. Centers probably going, I don't know, 15. Let's just call it. So I'm at about 60 for Kawhi Leonard. I'm at about 60 for Kawhi. His ADP is 51. Okay, we're about a round off. Doc makes a good point. Like, we're not taking Kawhi in the 2nd or 3rd round where you've got to nail the pick. If you're taking Kawhi, I still feel like a 5th-round pick, dude. Like, that I'm not taking Kawhi in the 5th round. 6th round, he's probably not going to be there. But 6th round would be like, I feel good about Kawhi Leonard in round 6, but not round 5. There's still too much risk, and I still need like known players. I mean, round 5 is not even sleeper round yet, right? Sleepers start getting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The first 5 for me, like they got to be bad boys. And Kawhi Leonard is, but he's half man, half a season. Wow. Next, 52, Joel Embiid. Okay. It went Jalen Johnson at 50, Kawhi Leonard at 51, Joel Embiid at 52. These are early ADPs on ESPN. How about Embiid at 52, Doc?
Can I just pass?
Yeah.
He's not going to be on any list that I make. I will not draft him. There's been late rumors that his body's never going to be right and his career might be ending. Philadelphia, I think, is kind of given up on him, maybe. I don't know. But, he's averaging, the 4th most points per game, and his average is 4th in history, highest. And he's a great player. Like Joel Embiid, when he plays, is elite. He's as elite as they get. But I am not touching a guy, even this late in a draft, that I don't think is going to make it through more than 25 games.
Doc, I have Joel Embiid at 93. Put that in your party pipe and smoke it. I have Joel Embiid at 93. Okay. It means he will be on none of my teams, and he's ranked that way for a reason. I have Joel Embiid ranked my 27th center. 27. Doc, I mean, this cracks me up, dude. I just realized this. I literally, and I've already did the ranking, already thought about it, but apparently it was late at night and it didn't really quite sink in. Doc, I have Jay Huff ranked ahead of Joel Embiid.
Jay Huff.
Put that in your party pipe and smoke it. I have Jay Huff ranked. I'm probably under indictment right now for fantasy basketball malpractice for saying that. I have Jay Huff. Oh, okay, Doc. And I want, if Andre, sometimes Andre has meetings and he's like multitasking. Andre, you tell me, who are you drafting, Joel Embiid or Jay Huff? Moment of truth. It's not an open canvas. You got 2 guys you can draft. Doc, you first. I already told you, I'm taking Huff. Jay Huff, Joel Embiid, moment of truth. There's 30 seconds left. 29, 28, 27, 26. Go.
It's not even close for me, dude. I'm taking Jay Huff. I love Jay Huff. I'm not drafting Joel Embiid.
Andre says I haven't made my rankings. Andre, that's not the point. The point is, it's the moment of truth. Right now, shotgun barrel in your mouth. Who are you taking, Huff or Embiid? It's 2-0 over here. People, let us know in the comments. Jay Huff or Joel Embiid? He's taking the high road, baby. Andre's smart. He's smart. Hasn't known his rankings yet. I can tell you right now, dude. I got Jay Huff. I got Jay Huff at 24, and I got Joel Embiid at 27. Dude, we learned something today. Dude, this should be a viral moment for our show. What you and I both are going to take Jay Huff over Joel Embiid. And like people will bang on, these guys are crazy. I mean, we invented it and popularized it, so I don't know what to tell you. We're only the GOATs, so what do we know? Anyway, let's move on. All right. So Jay Huff over Joel Embiid, and Andre taking a high road on that one. CJ McCollum at 69. I'm sorry. I know that was childish. It took me back to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. 69. So how you feeling about CJ at 69, dude?
Well, I like that like 5 years ago. I'm good with that. Portland sleeper, not a lot of people high on him, and we were kind of all over him back in the day. Nowadays, though, I mean, if that's 7th round, I guess it's okay, but I want fun players. Like, I want young upside fun, and that is McCollum is old, no upside, not fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just can't do it. I'm curious as to where you have him ranked with your guards.
Bro, this is crazy. Can't make this up. I have 30 guards ranked ahead of CJ McCollum. I got CJ McCollum at 31 right now. So 30 guards ranked ahead of him. I've got 20 forwards ranked ahead of him, and I've got 19 centers ranked ahead of him. Doc, you know what 30 plus 20 plus 19 is?
69.
69.
Right on the money.
Right on the money. How cool is that? How cool is that? That's some fantasy basketball serendipity right there, folks. I love CJ McCollum at 69. It's my exact ranking for CJ McCollum. Draft away, folks. Guys, don't forget, CJ McCollum is 20-plus points in 10 straight years. Good rebounder, good assist guy. He'll be 4 and 4, 4 and 5, somewhere in there. He'll be right at a steal, and he'll be at 3+ threes. He's still a really good fantasy player. Is he great? No. He's a really good filler guy. Like, just one of those important infrastructure guys you need on your team. Giving you the 20 points, giving you the 3 threes, giving you decent PRA goodies. So CJ McCollum at 69. Well done, people. How about Kristaps Porzingis at 73, Doc?
Well done, people. I love that. You know, we didn't mention the fact that he plays for the Washington Wizards now. I'm talking about CJ McCollum still. Like, do you have any concerns about them playing the kids and maybe giving McCollum the Chris Middleton treatment, or what do you think there?
It's a good question. I'm glad you asked. I think CJ McCollum's numbers are going to be totally good to go. And then I think he's going to be traded in February. So there is uncertainty with that, Doc. Is he going to be traded to a contender? Is he going to come off the bench? Is he going to drop down to a 13, 14, 15 PPG guy with like 2.5 threes a game and all the numbers suffer? That is possible. Okay. But it's also possible that I don't think he's going to finish the year in Washington. But I like the consistency of the back of the basketball card, Doc, and I'm playing it straight. Like with Vucevic, we talked about him on the previous episode. There's so much uncertainty with his future. Does his role drop from like badass starter to like now you're just a guy? But I don't know that's going to happen yet. So I got to just play it straight, right? And draft and rank based on where he is right now, and that's what I'm doing with McCollum. But you bring up a good point. There is downside with McCollum.
Kristaps Porzingis, welcome to Atlanta, as the song says.
Has he been to Magic City yet?
It's where the players play, Rick.
Inquiring minds want to know, has Porzingis been to Magic City yet?
I don't know. I heard he was down there the other day having some lemon pepper chicken wings.
Unconfirmed sources, by the way, have generated that
pepper
and sarcastic speculation. KP, get yourself down to Magic City. Integrate with the city, my friend. All right, Doc, go ahead.
I mean, you talk about a guy who plays half a season every season. I feel like it's him. Boston didn't even try to play him last year. They were like, Al Horford, you play tonight, and Porzingis, you play tomorrow. And Atlanta has what's his face, Okongwu, to play center. So they don't need Porzingis to be out there every night. They have Jalen Johnson who can play the 4. Kristaps Porzingis should be viewed as a luxury item for the Hawks, just like he was with Boston. So I think we're going to get a half a season out of him. Taking him at 75 or 80. That way you're looking around 8 or 9. I'm okay with that, but he's not one of my guys. I'm not probably going to be drafting Kristaps Porzingis because I can't stand guys who don't play every night. And you may be like, well, you like Kawhi Leonard. Well, yeah, Kawhi Leonard only played in like half the season last year, but he really, once he played, he finished out the season and played in the playoffs and everything. So I've just got a good feeling about Kawhi, sort of like Rick has with Luka Doncic. I think Porzingis is just a half-season guy, and I'm really not too interested.
It's called the tickle. Doc, when you're house shopping, right? You go see a house, kind of dingy, not really your thing. Wife hates the bathroom. There's no tickle, right? You see it, you leave. Then you go to a place. Wife loves the kitchen. Wife loves the bathroom. Dude loves the basement. Dude loves the backyard. You get the tickle. We get tickles on fantasy players, okay? I do not have a tickle on Kristaps Porzingis, nor do I want to tickle him, okay? Doc, I have Kristaps Porzingis ranked right ahead of Joel Embiid. Like, he's literally on top of, pardon me, I don't want, the visual's weird, pause. But I've got Porzingis at 26. I've got Embiid at 27 on my center board, okay? So I banished them both, right?
To a place where you will never have to worry about drafting them.
Never have to worry about it. I mean, I got Ware, Gafford, Draymond Green, okay, over Porzingis and Embiid. I don't want them. I don't want them. So I literally, like I said, Embiid was at 93. That would put Porzingis at 92. So the ADP here is quite off, 2 rounds off with Porzingis going at 73. Again, brand names, popularity, and guys, it's math. Forget all of that crap. It's insignificant. Paul George at 74, Doc, here we go again with the popularity contest.
I'm not drafting Paul George no matter how late he's available. I love the fact he's looking like his ADP's 90. He's number 74 overall, but he's being drafted in an average of 90th. Like, that seems like it could be potential value, but Embiid's future is shaky. George's future is shaky, and that makes Maxey shaky, and Philly is shaky. And I am just not a Paul George guy. I playoff P, that's like calling me championship Chuck. I mean, that kind of sums it up. I'm not drafting Paul George. So the ADP is good if you like Paul George, and this could be one of those years, Rick, where you just draft every injured guy that's ever lived and have an all-star team on paper and just these incredible names. You have Zion and LaMelo Ball and Kawhi Leonard, Joel Embiid, and Porzingis and Paul George, and they all somehow decide to play this year. Then you win your league. But that's a big if. So for personal reasons, I will not be drafting Paul George.
I got Paul George at 105, Doc. He's my 40th ranked forward. I'd rather have 40 guards than him, and I'd rather have 25 centers than him. That's 105 and maybe puts him at 106. So Paul George here at 74. It's wildly incorrect. Wildly. I've got him at 105. We're off by, 4 rounds. Like 74 for Paul George. Are you all nuts? The guy never plays, and he just had surgery. What? People are paying attention, dude. Paul George, great player. I love him. I studied him and went to work on his dribble moves and blah, 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 blah. He is right there with the most overrated players in league history, man. Overrated. And he's overrated again. It's 74. I've got him at 105. We're moving on. Norman Powell. Norman Powell. Doc, last year you had a huge opinion on him. Ding! You rang the bell. Norman Powell's ADP right now is 77. Seems a little rich, Doc.
Interestingly enough, Rick, he was the 77th ranked fantasy player in 9Cat last year, according to a certain algorithm that we use. He was 77, so he's going exactly where he went last year. He's now in Miami. Does he have a chance to repeat what he did last season with the Clippers in Miami this year? He's replacing Bradley Beal, so that works in his favor. He's a good player. I do like Norman Powell. I think Norman Powell has been underrated his whole career. So Tyler Hero, Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, Khalil Ware, Davion Mitchell, I think he can do it again. There's a lot of mouths to feed in Miami. I think this is acceptable. I would like to get him later than this, though. Like, I will draft Norm Powell again. It depends on who else is sitting there around that time as to who I would take. I'm not like jonesing for Norm Powell to be on my team like I was last year, but I still like him as a value play. I think he's going to be an integral part of what they do in Miami. So yeah, I'm okay with it.
So I've got some numbers here on Norman Powell. He is my 43rd guard. I've got 34 forwards over him, and I've got 25 centers over him. Fade. I don't think he's doing what he did last year. You've got Tyler Hero. You've got Andrew Wiggins. You've got I'm blanking on somebody.
Bam and Ware. Bam.
So you got.
I don't think anybody on the bench is going to hurt him.
No, I'm just kind of doing some math, and Bam's going to be at about 20. Hero's going to be between 23 and 25. Norm to me is going to be 16, 17, 18. And you're going to have Ware at 10 to 12. Okay, so you got Hero, let's say 24, Bam at 20. Let's give Norm 18. All right. Wait, I forgot Wiggins. I think Wiggins will score more than Norm. So let's give Wiggins 18. Let's give Norm 16, and let's give Ware 12. That's how I see that. I think Norm's going to be the fourth option. Wiggins played very, very well for Miami after the trade last year. So I'm not high on Norman Powell at all. Probably won't have him on any of my teams. Not crazy about the stat set. He's not a steal guy. And if he's not getting a ton of shots, and if he's at 16, 17, 18 points, he'll be like right at 2 threes, big deal, with very minimal rebounds and assists. That's not what he does. So I got him at 102. Doc, I've got Norman Powell at 102 overall, and he is at 77. So we're way off here. We're about 3 rounds apart at least. But he was 77 with the ADP that ESPN has. And then finally, Doc, before we hit them with our FanDuel win total for today, which is I'll get the team here in a minute. Ace Bailey is at 94 here in terms of his ADP ranking. So Ace Bailey at 94, Doc. Are you viewing Ace Bailey as a top 100 player? Or do you think that's wildly nuts? Talk to me.
I don't really like it. I'm not opposed to taking flyers on rookies, but I need to know what that rookie's going to do coming in. Like Cooper Flag, I'm on board with. I don't want to take him where his ADP is, but I'd consider it. I would definitely draft him if I could get him in the right spot. Ace Bailey, I'm probably going to let somebody else do it because there's probably going to be sleepers and guys where I sort of know what I'm going to get out of them available around that same time. So I'm going to say pass.
All right. He is my 51st forward. I would take 46 guards over him. So that's 97. I would take 25 centers over him. So let's add 25 to 97 to carry the 1. I've got him at 122. Doc. I will mess around with Ace Bailey very, 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 very late in drafts. I will. But like I said, I've got him at 122. Doc, 122 is basically a late round dice roll, right? It's like the last pick of your draft. It's like the little head start you get on the waiver wire, basically. How many guys, like the last 3 picks of your drafts, how many of those guys last the entire season? Very few. Okay. You'll hit on a Dyson Daniels, you'll hit on a guy, and then you'll miss on other guys. And that's when you go to the waiver wire and go get the guys that me and Doc are going to be talking about all year. I am okay with Ace Bailey being the number 2 rookie, Doc, behind obviously Cooper Flagg. Is there because he's got an Oubre type of stat set. He could go 1-1-1 in the block, steals, and threes. Is there another rookie that you would like fantasy-wise more than Ace Bailey?
No.
All right.
No.
That was simple. So not Con Knipple, not any of these guys.
The only rookie I really want in this draft is Cooper Flagg. But so does everybody else. So I'm probably not going to end up with him on my team.
Well, we'll see. We shall see.
But dude, the thing about you, like you mentioned, those final 3 rounds. If you do hit all 3 of those picks, your team's going to be good. Like if you hit your last 3 picks where everybody's just kind of taking a flyer, and you happen to hit 2 or 3 studs in those rounds, you're going to be good, and you might win your league. So I'd rather take a guy with more established reputation and upside where I know that he has a chance to go off. Because I think Ace Bailey has a chance to have some good games, but I don't think Ace Bailey's going to be better than a lot of veterans in the league. So that's where I'm at with that.
Makes sense, man. I like it. All right. Time for our FanDuel win total of the show. FanDuel has the Chicago Bulls win total, Doc, at 30.5. Over or under?
That's a great question. We talked about them a little bit with Nikola Vucevic when we were doing this exercise. And they've got Kobe White. And, last year Chicago won 39 games. They won 39 games, and their over-under this year is only 30.5. Am I missing something? Is it? And the East has gotten weaker.
I think bettors are anticipating a tank and a sell-off.
Buzelis is going to be pretty good this year. They got Josh Giddey. I'm going over. Unless they're going to just trade Vooch and blow the whole thing up, but I don't know.
Even if you trade Vooch, you still have Kobe White, you have Josh Giddey. You don't really have a whole lot, actually. So Chicago, dude, this roster sucks. I'm going under, bro. I'm going under. I think this is the year that Chicago finally they've needed to for a while. Dude, this roster. Vucevic, there was a report that if they can't trade him, they're going to buy him out. They don't want him anymore, okay? We love Buzelis, but he's not a winner yet. Patrick Williams, Kobe White, Josh Giddey. Okay, there's your starters. Zach Collins, Noah Essengay, Isaac Okoro, Kevin Huerter, Ayo Dosunmu. That bench is dazzling no one. Jalen Smith, Julian Phillips, Dalen Terry, Javon Carter, Tyus Jones. This roster sucks. It's begging for a tank. Doc, do you agree that roster's begging for a tank?
Yeah, I mean, are they definitely getting rid of Vooch?
Report, it was like Joe Cowley of the Sun-Times, like as plugged in as it gets. The Bulls don't want Vooch anymore. I don't know why, but they don't. Maybe because they want a tank.
And people are taking him in the 3rd round of these ESPN ADP.
He's the hardest guy to rank in all of fantasy basketball, Nikola Vucevic.
And I mean, you
put him
on different team, it might be over. I mean, he may just be a backup.
Or if he's on Orlando, he's going to be their starting center and put up the numbers that we're used to. But if he goes to the Lakers, which has been rumored, what does he do? You got Ayton, you got Bron, you got Rui, you got Luka, you got Reeves. Where does he fit? Is he a backup then? Or does Rui become a backup? And then Ayton's maybe your 4, Vooch is your 5. That seems weird. Ayton's never been a 4 in the NBA, right? So I don't know. Like, it's the same thing with CJ McCollum. Like, I'm playing it straight right now, realizing that he's a guy in his mid-30s, and it may be like, we may have seen the best of you. Or we may get another really good year from you. I'm going to go under 30.5 for the Bulls. It's time for the tank. They won 39 last year, like Doc said. A lot of stuff says over. But I think that the Bulls need to get really tanky this year. And I would wager that way and go to FanDuel, and you can have fun with all of these win totals. And we really appreciate FanDuel sponsoring the show. We are out of here, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of reminders before we go. Please leave a comment or a review on the show, whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening on the Fantasy NBA Today podcast feed. It's important for us. Also, go check out our fantasy football draft guide. It's amazing. It includes the best ball coverage in the market, an unbeatable draft tracker, John Mazalis leading a team of studs on the NFL side, and me on the college football side. It's only $6 a month. You can get 60% off right now at sportsethos.com. And please download the app. It's completely free. The Sports Ethos app, continuous blurbs for NBA, MLB, and NFL. And we are out. We will see you next week. Folks, really appreciate you all. This episode's been brought to you by FanDuel, and we'll see you soon.